The problem with all of this is how hush hush everyone's being and
Mm,
how we're not getting the answers as quickly as we'd like from the Attorney General's office. We're not getting the answers as quickly as we like from the Department of Commerce, despite the fact that they're aware of this. The other thing is too is the pressure is not being felt because mainstream media has not picked this up, which I
mm,
think is another problematic issue with all of this. And I think that, as much as I appreciate you sharing this story, it's problematic because this is real. This story's not going anywhere.
mm,
There's evidence that I'm glad that you and Brandy took a chance and looked at it and realized that this is a real problem for us taxpayers in a state where we live in, where we're in a deficit and we have the state not managing this tremendous amount of money and just giving it over to people. And I will say this, that it's been my belief that the reason why it's not as regulated as what it should have been when it was first allocated is because the fact that people are people of color. And even as a half black woman myself, I can identify that nobody wants to be called a racist. That's the problem, is it should have been the same rules for everybody. Hey, if you get these funds, you can't do this. But, in all my conversations, when I kept repeatedly telling people, begging for help from anybody that would listen, and everybody ignored me because, well, we don't want to know. And it really felt because they're people of color. And that's a problem. That's an insult to us of color, too, that you just hand it out without even vetting because not everybody, I mean, I think that you see that
mm,
and I said this early on, I think you see that the people that are coming out in support of this, and there's a lot of people of color, a lot of African American community members that are coming out and saying this needs to be investigated. You can look at the Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle, their statement, and you can see that people repeatedly asking, if someone's saying defending the program, who are you related to? This is problem. You need to investigate. People on both sides of the aisle, all colors, all races, are offended by this and they're demanding an investigation. And our politicians need to step up and actually do that investigation.